Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, saints, sinners, and all those souls stuck somewhere in between, welcome to Windmill Wind-Up. Yes, it is a Sunday evening in the beautiful sunshine here in Amsterdam, and slowly the weekend, sadly, is coming to a close, but there remains one division to be finalized. There remains one crown to be grabbed, and with it, one final question to be answered. What happens when an irresistible force meets an unstoppable energy? The reigning champions, youthful, exuberant, proud and powerful GRUT from Amsterdam, defending their title on their home turf, coming up against a team for which all of those adjectives applies uniquely. Where GRUT are normally the youngest, normally the fastest, normally the most, well, shall we say it, arrogant. Salaspils FC meet them in every quarter. This promises to be exhilarating, exciting, breathtaking, every other superlative one can think of as these two young tribes go to war. It is my pleasure to be Lorca Murray, and even more so to be joined by the inimitable Elshak. How are you feeling?
Super pumped, mate. This is going to be such a good match. As you said, both of these teams just playing with such self-confidence, backing themselves, backing their teammates, and just having a crack.
So now, walking to the disc to get things started, Van der Wieden, a man who before the game said, if it's on, I'll throw it. My word, it's on already. Huge D, and there you go. Benjamin Ort, their go-to receiver, may have just met his match in the form of Didzis Malderis.
That's right. I expected, some people told me they hadn't heard much about the Salaspils team, and I said, I've seen them play before, and you can expect some big bids at the disc, as well as some massive throws. This
is the first iteration of the Salaspils club team in the mixed division. Somewhat of a pick-up side as they play it under. That is Yanis Bernans starting things off, taking the easy open to Pinnis. But there you go, sweeping it and stealing the disc as she so frequently does. Floor Colert gives it to Ort. He centers it back into the middle to the waiting hands of Boom, who throws it to Van der Wieden. He's got one turnover already. I doubt we'll see another one from him, as now Janssen, so reliable, so consistent, puts it to Colert. And when it doesn't work with your one talisman, you give it to your second. Colert's with the score.
It's already overstimulating and too exciting for me, Logan.
1 point in. There's at least another 14 to go, and more than likely 29.
Someone get me my Ventolin buffer. This bodes well for an amazing match of Ultimate.
So what we've already seen, a deep shot to Ort from Van der Wieden, D'd up magnificently by Malderis, and then Colert's coming in and stealing the disc away on the under before finishing it off, thanks to an assist from Janssen. And she sees Colert's go, as she has so many times before, and in each of those instances she puts it. This one, no different. 1-0.
Right, again, we're seeing some key players from the team that won, was part of the team that won last year, on the lineup here with Nina Roos and Lola Dem.
Two fantastic players who you can expect to put a lot of pressure under this Salaspils side as they look to get things started. Orlovskis, a man known somewhat as the Latvian Ben Orton, showing why. A huge shot all the way deep, tearing after it, looking to bring it down, and doing so successfully. Minov's phenomenal stuff.
Yes, so good. As soon as that man has the disc in his hand, you can almost guarantee that a massive huck is going to come. He is amazingly accurate, but also helped by the speed of his teammates and the great read of the disc there.
Igor Minovs was under a lot of pressure from Jurd Ates, but was still able to get the grab. The man who threw that disc, Arvids Yanis Orlovskis, the star of the Latvian under-20 ultimate team last year at EYUC, where I first met his acquaintance. It is a star that continues to rise. He is only 19 years old. He has got the grabs, he has got the cuts, he's got the throws, and he's also incredibly aware of all those facts.
That's right.
Confidence.
Oh.
Bordering on arrogance.
It's brash. It's brash, and I like it.
It's hard not to like 1-1 so far, and we've seen some great grabs. We've seen a brilliant D or two. That one was an offensive hold, something GRUT could not manage. Speaking to later trends, perhaps, Stella.
That's right. Well, forget the highlight reel. Let's just show this game again and again, I suspect, is what we'll be seeing by the end of this match.
Certainly something to go from. The final last year was filled with highlight plays when GRUT defeated Polish World Gaystin van der Wielen. He started the last point this way. This time he's looking for Janssen. Reads it perfectly, gets behind Bernans and collects the disc. Now he's popping, looking for options, waiting for somebody to get free. Gives it to Janssen. Front corner of the end zone. It's going to have to be speedy to get free, although she may be looking dumped shortly. And she does, comfortably into the hands of Boom. A man known for his explosive throws. He has the option to Ort, decides against it. He has Janssen behind him, waiting, giving, repositioning. Now this is the conservative side of GRUT that we haven't seen so much of from Salaspils this tournament. They have developed the ability to dump. The restraint that has been somewhat absent in previous iterations on the European stage is now van der Wielen.
That's right, happy to concede some ground whilst maintaining possession.
So now Janssen. She got it up the line, waiting. Goes down the line, just about squeaks it around. I'm not entirely sure how Boom came up with it, but he did. It's a lot of pressure in the foremost, not Tinch. Centers it to the middle, Janssen, waiting. Patiently, calculating. And there she is, Fleur Colert, striking to the front corner of the end zone and getting the score.
That's right, the breeze has picked up for our final match of Windmill 2018. Blowing down the field from the right of your screen to the left. It's pretty gusty and it's quite strong, so probably the teams that can score upwind points are most likely going to be the ones to take out this match.
In normal circumstances, you would say this is going to devolve into an upwind downwind game, and I can certainly see the O-lines of each side, as long as they start on the upwind side, just hucking it every single time. Both of these teams' go-to weapon is a picture-perfect huck, and the conditions certainly lending themselves to that in the right to left direction. But like you say, going in the opposite direction with that wind, getting that crucial break, is there a team that you think are more capable in that department?
It's probably a team that's more confident, and I think we know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. There's an awful lot of confidence going on this pitch right now.
But I think we saw yesterday in slight windy conditions. It wasn't nowhere as near as windy as the Friday play, but it didn't matter who was on them, what the conditions were like. They backed themselves, the Salaspils. So in some regards, maybe the conservatism of GRUT will perhaps hold them back.
Well, Orlovskis had the option for the huck and decided to not go with it. Kublitska is a fantastic deep receiver. Now she comes under. She's being well marked by Dam. That's going to be a matchup to keep your eyes on as Gusarz collects it and centers to the middle, just about able to get it to Minovs. As he launches it deep, Orlovskis is underneath it. Dam's coming in. Ates is trying to get there as quick as he can, but everybody's a little bit too late and a little bit too short.
He's pretty good.
Shh, don't say that. He's going to listen to this back and like, yeah, you're damn right, I'm pretty good. He's passable.
Yes.
By which I mean he's easy to pass to, because he can go get that disc. So there was a deep shot.
Yeah.
It came from Minovs to Orlovskis, which is not quite what we were expecting. The other way around, a bit more common, but they're all capable of doing it. Lots of throwers, even more receivers in both of these rosters.
Yeah, a lot of the women has played in beach worlds as well, as we see this replay here.
Minovs arcing, floating. Orlovskis has time. You can see Dam sneaking in there. That's just her high level of defensive intelligence, always involved, but there's only so much you can do when you're battling a giant. So now we see Mulderus with the disc. Getting ready for the pull. He got that massive D on Benjamin Ort in the opening point. So I'm sure that's something he's going to look to replicate as this game wears on. Benjamin Ort carrying a right-handed injury, his thumb dislocated, so you'll notice he's not going to do too much throwing. When he does, it's going to be exclusively backhands, right-handed or left-handed, not able to do a flick it with seam, and going for his grabs left-handed, which did kind of leave that window open, I believe, for Mulderus to come in and get the D initially. So certainly something to keep your eye on. But for now, van der Wielen with the disc. You know what he wants? Colert immediately under, well marked by Kublitska. Boom. Gives it back to Van der Wieden. Reload. So he looks for another shot. Janssen. A surgeon with the disc. Slices that one down the line. And it's a big arcing throw to Kulertz. Lots of people underneath it. It's going to be a battle. Kublitska can't get there in time. What a read.
Wow, just a beautiful catch there. The defender just out of reach. And just strong hands and perfect reading of the disc.
Flor Kulertz is a phenomenal player. Fast announcing herself as, if not the, then certainly one of the best female players in Europe right now. You can see here, she's out of position. Kublitska seemed to take the right angle, but she reads it to perfection. Unfortunately, there was just nothing that the young Latvian woman could do to stop it. Kublitska actually probably the most experienced, potentially the most experienced, one of the most experienced Latvian women to ever play ultimate, playing for 16 years at this point, 28 years old. She grew up with a disc in her hand.
That's right.
And it was Kublitska along with Epinis who put together this team, bringing the open side, Wild Things, and the women's side, Salaspils FK, together for this mixed team, begging the question, why don't you guys play mixed more often? But it's just not something they're too interested in. Both teams focus very much on EUCF, as neither going to Worlds. Orlovskis with the disc. Gusars spreads it wide. Gunov's waiting. So they're looking for options downfield. Huge layout grab, but unfortunately couldn't save possession. The athletic Schnepsis. So now with the chance for an upwind break. Crucial point, as you were saying earlier, Elshak. Ates gives it back around, waiting for it. Kuman. Damn, Kuman back with the disc. He has Ates completely free. So you can see Orlovskis trying to poach into that lane. Schnepsis. Groot. Patient. Relaxed. Conservative. Ates. Picking, prodding, looking for a way through. Taking what's available to him. Not too forced, not too rushed. Hometown Philly, back again. Not too hard, not too soft, but just perfect. Reset, reset, waiting for somebody to get free, waiting for the yards, not forcing it. That one became ever so close to Orlovskis' outstretched hand, and then able to just pop it to the front of the line, and Kumans. But that time they try to force it, and able to step in there and get the D. Schneps. Gusars, he wants that deep shot to Orlovskis, and Orlovskis visibly frustrated that it didn't come, but instead goes to the dump, back down the pitch. Resetting it all the time, working together. This time the big shot, Orlovskis didn't even bother with the under, he just decided to hang out. And a massive, potentially gratuitous layout D by Steneker. But something to fire up the team and shows that he is very aware of the large task ahead of him. So another turn. Can GRUT work it back down the pitch?
Yeah, it's hard to say because in some ways their discipline is going to help them because they're so controlled and they make sure all their throws are to the right option with the right technique. But in some regards, the patience required is leads to unforced errors.
Lelinga unfortunately not able to corral that one, just as you're talking about them. Nice reset. Gusars gives it to Duma, gets it back, fakes the hammer. They like faking their hammers, they like throwing them too, but we haven't seen too much in that regard so far. To the end zone. Still looking for options, none becoming immediately available. Lots of crowding, eventually gets after Orlovskis. Duma. And that one is high and the wing catches underneath it. An unfortunate mistake as Borduma just couldn't get enough spin on the disc.
That's right. The crowd going wild as the disc hit the cone, marking the end zone corner there. This wind definitely picking up, and as you might have been able to see on a few of the last couple of throws, having an impact.
And Ates not waiting for anything, just lashing it deep, but didn't have quite enough set. Dam had the necessary separation from Arsta, but couldn't get to the disc. Always dropping low.
That's right, and the excitement machine about to pick up the disc, so who knows whether he'll just go for a hug or mix it up and do a short throw.
Well, I don't think it actually ever came in. I thought it touched the line. No, yeah.
I thought it landed on the line. Okay, wow.
So they're going to get it right in front of the end zone.
Probably not going to do a huck then.
I believe it's Gusars trying to set up in that front of stack position, although there's an awful lot of bouncing about in the balls of his feet from Schnepsis. Gusar's physical, just pushing, looking for it. There's the high release flick, and there's the collection from Schnepsis. Cheeky.
It was so cheeky.
Bold.
Oh my goodness. It hung up in the air as well. It was tantalizingly close. And all the poor defender could do was just watch in horror as his direct opponent caught that disc.
Ate did what he could. He went for the big bid, but that's a stylish finish, and Schneps unable to get it. That's not the best high release flick, but it did work. Something you can keep an eye on. These guys love their celebrations. That is the trademark Schneps pulling. I think he's pulling a bow, is certainly what it looks like to me anyway.
I'm going to have to watch it again because I didn't recognize it as anything. I don't think he was playing charades very well.
I believe I'm excellent at charades. How dare you besmirch my character in that fashion.
But you like talking so much.
I know, right? It's ironic. I'm passable at charades. I just thoroughly enjoy it. I also enjoy these celebrations. Shows how much this means to these teams. So now 3-3.
That's right.
Salaspils looking to get a win break.
They're looking dangerous.
Dangerous or risky?
I think dangerous. They're the unknown entity. They've got all these skills, and they just give them a shot.
It is ludicrous how well they've played for such an unknown entity. Just to put it in perspective, they scored 100 goals this weekend. The maximum available goals at this point is 105. They have conceded 47. Nobody scored more than 8 against them. As that pass screams over the head of the intended receiver, who I believe was Van der Wieden, and Coulertz wasn't able to come in and get the rescue either. The wind carrying it and zipping it past. So now, Yannis Bernans, who at 21 years old is one of the true leaders of this team, coach of the EYUC team, so plays a big role in developing youth ultimate in Salaspils.
That's right. So this could be first upwind.
Looking for options. Nothing really getting free from Happiness in the end, able to go up the line and get it. Waiting, pops it back into the middle. Comfortable hands of Albertinch. Bernans, Mulderis. Back to Bernans as they are flowing across the pitch, and he sets that one up. But who else but Coulertz reads the play perfectly. That is one literate woman.
And Groot not rushing into anything, which is, again, a contrast between them and the Salaspils team, who just pick it up and have a ping most times.
And Coulertz, as if reading your mind and saying, no, we know how to put it, launches it deep, collected by Janssen. Nothing Kurasova could do but watch as the speedy Janssen comes over his shoulder and collects the disc. Sorry, Minard.
That's all right. It is difficult to see the numbers from our little tower.
We do have a wonderful tower. Excellent collection. And it's kind of crazy the way you're saying GRUT are the more conservative team, given their reputation, given their legacy.
We're just going to see this D again.
You can see Coulertz recognize it.
That's right.
Turn and rush in to get that block. Fantastic stuff.
Bit of a mind read there. And beautiful huck deep.
Minard reads this to perfection. Kurasova seemed to have position, but couldn't correct herself quick enough.
Able to just squeeze there in front and get that disc. Now, scores are 4-3 as they continue to trade.
So far, it would seem GRUT have the edge in terms of the women. Salaspils ever so slightly in terms of the men.
I think Salaspils women pretty strong with each Worlds. Quite a few of the Latvian women's team were very impressive, but at the moment I just don't think they've been able to utilize them, which is probably a testament to the GRUT defensive line. But it'll be interesting to see as the game develops. I can't call it at this stage.
Orlovskis with the disc goes to the brick mark. Looking for some deep options when it comes available, but he doesn't take it. Instead, going with the dump back to Minovs, back to Orlovskis. And now Orlovskis absolutely launches it, streaking deep as the figure of Kublitska, but the disc didn't hang long enough. Kublitska on dam, a scintillating matchup.
That's right. I don't think we've seen a zone D set up at all so far. Going for the match D.
A little peculiar, you'd think with the wind.
Yeah, especially
a bit
as
more
it's
zone.
probably the windiest it's been all day.
These are two competitive teams. They want to go person for person and just beat them. You love to see it. Smash Mouth Ultimate. If you can beat the person opposite you, you can win. And the crowd's certainly loving it. So now Koumans walking to the disc. Being marked by Gusars, spreading wide.
Oh.
Goes to the sideline. Lots of zip on that one.
It was a spicy meatball.
Koumans
Massive fakes here.
trying to dislodge the mark. Steenhuisen. He has Koumans in the middle. Diligently marked by Gusars, who's putting in work. Eventually goes back to Ate. Snips. Marking him. Ate swings it wide. Done. Something she is well known for. Back in the middle to Ate as he keeps that swing going. Something his reputation is built upon. Relaxed, consistent offense. Down. Goes for the under. Kublitska giving it everything but coming up empty. As now the deep shot momentarily thought about but looked off by Kulin. She sends it back to Ate. Ate swings to Kumant. Relaxed offense, wind blowing in their face, but taking their time, taking their unders, not forcing anything. Beautiful break.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
no.
rattles around and out of the hands of Steenhuisen.
Yeah, just popped up a little bit higher than expected there, that disc. And now Salaspils back in relatively good position.
Looking for the hold. Gusars fakes the hammer. You've seen him throw him all weekend. And there it is. Orlovsky's back in the end zone. Momentarily levitates and slams the disc in celebration. What did I say? That young man is confident.
Oh.
Speechless.
Speechless.
Which is quite the achievement when it comes to my Australian compatriot.
No, that is outrageous as well. There. He has a well-earned break there as we see.
Like, watch the fake
Oh.
and then just unleashes.
And
Orlovsky's.
just such a good jump as well. He wasn't even kind of right in the best position. Just stop running and have a bit more of a jump at the end there to catch
Boom.
that disc. Just has some hang time himself. Why not?
So Orlovsky's showing why he's such a threat. But again, one quick pass for the offense. They'll need a very different style to be successful going upwind.
That's fine.
But first, they're going to have to dislodge possession. They have been successful in generating turns off good. Less successful in capitalizing upon them. I'm sure they're looking to change this now. Discan Mulderis. Actually known as D. Big fan of it himself.
Not the best pull, yeah, but
A lot of wind. I think maybe revert to the rolling pull now and just let that thing trundle along the ground for the yards. Van der Wieden centers it immediately. Boom. Shakes the room, but unfortunately a bit too much on that one as it bounces out of the hand of
And
Geert.
our statistician has just climbed up the tower to tell us that prior to that last goal, both teams were equal for blocks and unforced errors, and now have both increased unforced errors there. And that was just another example of one of those.
Happiness launches one, bobbles, but Albert Inch able to get it. As he looks for options, no one able to get free immediately from him.
Oh.
Big defensive effort. He looked to Savaeva, but unfortunately, Minard was there to get the D. Van der Wieden taking his time.
Just doing a disc check here.
The well-documented violence inherent in Minard's defensive pressure. It's only ever directed towards the frisbee.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not happy with that one either.
Very picky, these Dutch, aren't they? Very particular.
All right, anyone got a disc in the crowd? Surely, someone in the crowd. Here we go, here we go. Give him a selection, please, because it's a Goldilocks situation here.
As we wait.
It's all right.
Just a little heads up, there will be a pole contest during half-time.
All right.
Tied at 4-0, looking to get the score.
Inspection of the disc complete. Happy with this one. 4-all. Disc in.
Happiness, putting on the mark. Centers, boom. Yes, Janssen, big layout D, but not able to get there. Van der Wieden swings to the break side and a comfortable score for Benjamin Hort. Huge defensive effort by Albertinch, but not able to get there quick enough. Janssen, so calm and confident under pressure.
Yeah, and these young bodies must be able to bounce back from hitting the ground because they just keep throwing themselves out there. Both sides having a lot of bids at the disc, trying to get that turn to get the break. The scores are 5-4 in Groot's favour. I don't get enough.
You got to use more phlegm. Got to come from the back of the throat. GRUT.
Well done there.
GRUT.
Thank you, my learned friend.
It's because I got it wrong for so long, they got very angry at me.
Oh.
It's generally how I learn most people's names. GRUT. You got to stay well hydrated as well.
I know.
Difficult
I think
do.
that was
I got very dehydrated during their one of their pool games and stopped being able to say. I was like, good, good, good. Stands for they are wild, they are young, ferocious. Get wrecked, ultimate team. Looking to wreck this nice young Latvian outfit. But they have other ideas about that themselves. Orlovskis swings that one to Gusars. Immediately gives it back. Deep downfield, we see Sinista trying to get free. Instead, Gusars has to be relied upon for the dump. It's a big arc going around to Grublinska. As she immediately launches it deep, lots of float. Few people on the end of it, and it's taken comfortably by Sinista. Brilliant, brilliant catch.
That's right. She had to keep in mind about where the line was, quite close to the edge of the end zone. Had to really stretch as well to make sure she could get the better position in front of that disc so it didn't get defended.
Grublinska down the line, catches it, and look, no hesitation. Brief separation, but that's how much they trust each other.
Ugh.
And that's why.
What a catch.
Excellent stuff from Sinista. Gusars, Grublinska. Her throwing motion started
As
3/4 through her catching motion. Fluid.
That's right. Who needs 10 seconds?
Waste of time anyway.
You can have -1 almost.
5-5 and another offensive hold. This one flawless, which has been something that was escaping Salaspils somewhat in the recent exchanges. Now Orlovskis stepping onto the D-line. Grublinska staying on.
All right. And I've just been told again by our statistician that was the first clean hold for 4 points. So I think that means basically that it was
flawless, no turnovers.
Flawless, as Lachlan pointed out.
Excellent stuff from Salaspils. Grublinska, one of the people responsible for bringing this team together, her and Aquinas, the leaders of their respective sides of the Salaspils club. And a huge shot deep. He thought Janssen was going. He stutter stepped. They've got Colert, they've got Janssen. But far more importantly is the invasive Albertinch sweeping in and slapping that one away. So now Orlovskis taking a step from the O-line to the D-line for this very, very reason. Boom is marking him.
Kulat's there, number 11 for GRUT. Doing quite well considering the number of Salaspil people around her. She got a hand to it, but it's going to be a big ask.
Albertinch. Looks for the under. There's an awful lot of float on that one, but it's brilliantly read by Sinitsa. Hernandez juking and jiving, can't get free. Instead she goes to Albertinch. She's got a deep shot available. Orlovskis is underneath it. It's Colert against him. She's good, but is she that good? Unfortunately not in this instance, and that is exactly why they brought the big, brash young Latvian onto the pitch for the D-line, and that's a crucial break. 6-5.
The upwind break.
And you thought it would be the conservative style of GRUT that made them more viable for it, more viable, not inevitable, but more viable. And instead, it is that raw talent and reckless abandon of Salaspils that gets the first upwind.
Yeah, I thought Salaspils would probably get the downwind on account of they just have a crack.
It was brilliantly read initially by Sinista to make sure she didn't let that disc go over her head. She corrected herself, pops up the line. Beautiful throw for the score. Orlovskis with the catch.
Thank you. And just hearing there that the unforced errors are double for GRUT than Salaspils there. So
now, could you explain the difference between unforced error and a D?
An unforced error is a drop that the player hasn't touched. Things like that, or a throw that goes out of bounds without a defensive involvement.
So Salaspils.
It's like when you hit it into the net in tennis.
So, Salaspils draw first blood. Will they be able?
I'm so excited.
Keep going. It's why wouldn't you be?
This game's so good.
Normally, the post-tournament blues will be pushed back for at least another hour as the two teams continue to clash.
We'll be riding on this high for a few days, I think. I can't stop smiling.
Which
love
is
this
a
game.
hell of a, it's a testament to the excitement of this game when this is the high we'll be riding on a weekend in Amsterdam. But you're absolutely right, El Shaq.
And the crowd, I'm not sure if you're able to see that as the just a boy kicking a soccer ball, has a throw there to return the disc. The crowd giving him some massive support. He could become a future star now.
That is the
He
hope.
might be hooked.
Well, the Dutch youth scene is something to behold. Absolutely fantastic in producing so much talent, especially in the women's division, as Janssen gets the under. Thinks about the deep, but really he's just trying to dislodge the invasive defense of Minovs. And that one was just always going down a bit too far away from Van der Wieden as he's forced to call a foul, or sorry, not a foul, injury.
No, that's right. And just a prime example there, timely of an unforced error. Just the not allowing for the breeze, pushing throw out of bounds.
I think I'd give a little bit of credit to the pressure Salaspils are putting on. Minovs was all in Janssen's business.
That's right.
So now Steneker appears to be the replacement as Orlovskis comes on and Mulderis comes off.
Bit of a fake lip there.
Just a little hop, skip, and jump. Oh no, it's offense. No, my leg hurts. But that is allowed because the opponent called the injury, and Bernan's waiting for nothing but Orlovskis. And that's exactly why another shot to the end zone, another score for the bright young talent.
Good call there. Nice sub.
In terms of receiving ability, Mulderis is incredibly talented, but sometimes you want to just go with the girl that got you to the dance. Orlovskis is a big reason why Salaspils are in this position.
Definitely, he instrumental player for this team and for his country, I would think, in many worlds to come.
So that's a fantastic throw from Bernans. Back corner, Janssen can only watch.
Do we know how tall he is?
6'2" tall.
He's a tall drink of water, that guy. And has a leap like some animal that leaps a lot. I don't know.
Gazelle?
Yeah, a gazelle. Thank you.
Kangaroo.
But they just like jump.
Is that more of a jump thing?
Yeah.
He is elegant like a gazelle.
True.
Striding his way down that pitch.
He's an animal.
Yeah, right now he's certainly playing like a lion.
That's all right.
His pride on full display. Salaspils repping Latvia and Lithuania, it must be said. We don't want to dismiss the fact that Natia Kurasova is from Lithuania.
And Russia. Russian in there as well.
Oh, of course, you're right. Olga Savieva. So a little bit of mixed flavor, but for the most part, this is the Latvian team from Salaspils. Such promising talent. Infuriatingly young, and this is normally how I describe GRUT, as Janssen absolutely launches one deep. But a bit too much muscle on that one, as Leninga can only watch as it sails past her. Maybe spent less time in the gym in preparation
And
for
the
Worlds.
kid has picked up the disc here. Well done.
It's a little bit shyer this time as he doesn't try to return it. Salaspils 7-5 up, and with another upwind break would take half on the reigning Windmill and European champions, who the majority of their women are current reigning European under-20 women's champions, loaded with talent, bearing a reputation, a name writ large in the recent histories of European mixed ultimate, and one that Salaspils have apparently no real regard for.
That's right. Well,
Did anybody see this coming? let's have a little fun. Let's go through the scores of Salaspils
okay.
so far in this tournament.
Tell me your story, Vulcan.
So they open it up. It's Swiss draw, which means that the first game determines your next game. And the margin of victory is what determines your opponent. So you want to win big in order to go up against the best opponents. The early games, generally, there's a couple of hammerings. They win their first game against the Panas Ultimate All-Stars, a team made of a lot of expats from Venezuela and a few other South American countries living in Europe. They beat them 15-2, understandably, playing a pickup team. Next game against Glasgow, the Warriors from Scotland.
Good team.
Very good team. World's bound team. Lots of talent. 10-8. That's the most competitive game Salaspils have played so far. 10-8. And that's just that gritty Scottish style. And then 15-7 against Erdferkel, World's bound. 15-8 against SEE6, the Gothenburg faithful. 15-6 against Colorado, one of the best teams and one of the favorites coming into this tournament. 15-8 against Team Radio Shower, an all-star team made of the Dutch and English primarily, with a few others thrown in. And then 15-8 in the semi-final against SE6. Again, 8 points has only been scored against, is the most anyone scored against them. It's been scored against them 4 times. Breathless. As now they look to take half against GRUT. Lots of pressure, but wearing it well.
Yeah, pick called.
Schnotinch with the disc. Will he have to give it back? He will.
Yeah, called just before.
It's Happiness with the disc. Coach, one of the founders. One of the reasons this mixed team is together.
That's good to see. Very good.
Very well spirited, it must be said. Very competitive.
The players involved in that pick there just checking that each other was all right and saying no worries.
Happiness immediately launches it, plenty of float. Ort is down there to defend. We've got ourselves a battle. And it's swept up beautifully. Excellent stuff out of Kurosawa. But there's going to be a foul called. All of that ambition collected under the disc and all of it misread it. But fortunately, Kurosawa, repping Lithuania. Possibly the best player Lithuania's ever produced.
That's right. So we might be able to see a replay here as that disc go up. There was a pack that formed underneath it, possibly jumping into another player's space is probably what they're going to call there. Yeah, and just see Groot player taken out slightly.
Benjamin Ort rumbling to the floor. I believe Schnotinch might be the culprit. But you saw how quickly Salaspils were ready to take advantage of that. And that's just the training. Lots and lots of deep shots. You got to go clean it up. Great instinct to have.
That's right. So discussion still taking place here about whether it came into the player's space.
Care to speculate?
There you go. So the goal has now been called, I believe. But now other people from GRUT are getting involved in the discussion. Initially, number 9 from GRUT, Ort, changed the signal and called goal.
Seems like it's going to go back. Mojeka deals it back. Kurosawa with the disc. How are they going to close that gap? Mojeka is so free. Known affectionately as Santa. I'm certainly hoping to deliver a bit of a present to her team by getting them into the lead at halftime, 8-5.
So she would have to go back slightly to where she was where the catch took place. Which I don't think it is. So I'm a bit confused as to the possession of the disc and the position of the players.
It might be a matter of a pick. Perhaps Glurt stopped playing. And that is why Mojeka was able to get so free. So, starting again, Kurosawa. Looking around. Antoninch. And he floats that one. Ates is there, but not soon enough as it is collected for the score by Schnotinch.
Oh no, and he's hit his knee there hard on the ground as he dove for that disc. I think it was his knee.
We're not playing on grass, remember, this is AstroTurf. There's not quite the same amount of give.
So injury being called here.
Was he inbounds, or was he in the end zone when he caught it?
No, I don't think so.
So Schnotinch comes off.
No, so it wasn't.
To be replaced by Orlovskis. Third time this has happened, injury called. Orlovskis comes on the offensive line.
That's right, so it wasn't going to be a goal, but also, yeah, just kept it up before there. It was also very close to the ground when he managed to get his hands underneath.
Very good grab by Schnotinch, especially under the pressure of Jerd Ates coming over his shoulder. Orlovskis looking for options. He's got lots of breaks in that bag. Gets it back, decides against putting it up. Thinks about it, wants the hammer, doesn't go with it. Instead, is forced to laser in a flick, and somehow that is able to penetrate through the bidding defense. Van der Wieden coming agonizingly close, but not close enough.
Impetuous.
That's it exactly. These young players
Who does that?
They don't know any better, and for some reason it's working for them. A criticism I would have leveled at them, or tried to level at them while searching for things to criticize in their semi-final, was that they play with such reckless abandon. I couldn't think of a more eloquent way of saying it than balls out, because that's just what they do, and it works. And normally when teams play like that, it doesn't work sometimes, and it gives the opportunity for other teams to take advantage. It seems to work all the bloody time for these Latvians.
Oh, and again, we just saw the replay there. The hammer, the space was open there. Player lurking back corner. But he went, no, that's too easy. Let me thread the needle past 2 defenders and nearly hit the ground with the disc. As we've now take the game to half. Oh my goodness. What
the shenanigans are in full flow. Windmill wind up, wrapping up. Windmill coming to a close. We've still got 1/2 of Ultimate left to play. I don't think anybody, even the Latvian faithful, saw this coming. 8-5, talking to Salaspils before the final. It's asking, have you done any preparation? You're going up against the European champs. This is a big thing to test yourself against. What kind of tactics do you have going in? And their response was, yeah, we're not that kind of team.
Yes, so good.
Their coach, who was asleep, remember I talked to him about 15 minutes before the final, their coach was asleep in the tent. And he said, well, he watched the game. And what did he take from it? He goes, don't know, we haven't talked to him about it.
That's good, keep it fresh, you know, you don't want them to be
This isn't
influenced.
supposed to work. This kind of attitude, this kind of approach. You're not meant to be this talented.
Oh, again, just seeing some of the highlights from this game earlier on here. Both sides pulling out some impressive huck and scores earlier on in the piece. But GRUT just seems to be a little bit shell-shocked as they get almost a taste of their own medicine.
That's exactly what's happening.
But
GRUT
with a
finding
little
it
bit
out.
of spice in there.
A little bit extra spice.
That's right.
Now GRUT can finally know what it's like to play against GRUT.
That's right, and I don't think they like it.
No, it's very frustrating. They pull off things you're not meant to be able to pull off.
Oh.
Well, this is what I was talking about at the start. An irresistible force. An unstoppable energy.
Oh, that was probably my favourite celebration involving the rugby goals there. Double score, doesn't count. Oh, strong hands.
Orlovskis
Yeah, we're noticing a
leading from the front.
few highlights involving the number 18 there for Latvia. What a surprise.
Terrible player. Genuinely, I am concerned for those that live with him if they'll be able to stay in the same house at the size his head is going to be upon returning home.
It's all right. He won't be able to get through the front door.
Yeah, there you go. He's going to have to start sleeping
No,
outside.
He's actually, you know how it is, one of those super nice people as well. I spoke to him as we were trying to learn how to
That's a lie.
pronounce their
That's a
names.
deception. I've spoken to him.
Oh, and he was
He's
nasty
an
to you?
arrogant. No, he's nice, but he knows. The thing is, right? He's very, very good,
Maybe
and
that's
he
just
knows exactly how good he is, which makes him seem very, very arrogant.
Oh, here we go. Bit of a lineup here for the pool. Luca Migliato from Switzerland, from Free Speed, who are going to World Champs with the man himself, Orlovskis, as he told me how to say it. I was like, that doesn't sound like it is.
Arvids Janis Orlovskis, a name that will be said a lot more as we go forward. But let's talk about a few of the other players that have impressed you in this final. Is anybody else standing out to you on this Salaspils side?
Happiness has been really good handling, just steadying. He's probably slightly more of a restrained. I'm going to say restrained player.
Even though he has thrown up some
That's right.
sketchy hucks.
But
He's about as
compared to
restrained
others,
as Salaspils get.
It's all relative on the team about restraint. Asta always impresses me, and also Kublitska and Kurasova as well.
Kublitska and Kurasova have been
Yeah.
fantastic. Especially Kublitska showing her experience. That shot she took to the end zone,
Oh,
so well timed, absolutely fantastic.
So as we have our halftime entertainment here for you today with the pool competition, just setting that up now, and off goes the first one. That's pretty good.
Considering it's a pool competition and the wind is at his back, I would have thought them to go a little bit further. He's just about able to get that one in the end zone.
Yeah, or maybe it's the disc. He's now looking at through the disc pile, trying to find one that is lucky. I don't know what he was
One he
looking
likes
for
the
in
feel of.
particular. That's right. We have had a few teams very particular about the type and style of disc that they use when we've needed to change a disc mid-game. And here's the second attempt. That's a much better one. First one, maybe, you know, just getting the arm ready.
It's actually shorter than the
Actually,
previous
yeah,
one.
because
More float.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's not about being a good pull per se. It's about just throwing the disc as far as you can. So
Right, because the technique can be quite crass as long as it gets length downfield. Is that what you're suggesting?
exactly. Every single scratch counts when the throws are this big. You want to bear in mind, you're not trying to hang it up and have it fall in the end zone. You just want to get it as far as you can. Try and clear those posts that we've seen in the past.
That's right. Our first female competitor here, who I think I saw play for I can't remember the name of the team. I want to say Enrapolers, but that is definitely not how I pronounce the name.
Enrelades.
Yeah, thank you. I feel most of the letters were there, just not in the right order.
I think you got it very close.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, I just tried to do a Speedy Gonzalez impression. That is rather impressive.
That's looking better.
Now that's more like it.
And the crowd show mad respect for that. It's always hard to go first, you know.
So, doing much better.
Yeah. Oh, that's awkward. Sorry.
Want to clarify for the people
I'd like
at
to
home there, Al
clarify
Shack?
there. I said this was the
This
first
just goes to show how
female,
dedicated to
but
equity we are.
But it's the first female I recognized from a women's team, I should have said,
That one falls just outside of the end zone.
because I've only commentated some games, but I did recognize her from the women's team as opposed to a mixed team.
Are you at all concerned for the extended halftime break and the effect it could have on the two teams, given that the pull competition makes this break easily 3 to 4 times longer than normal halftime breaks?
I think it'll have no effect on Salaspils because they are just too chilled out. GRUT, however, more disciplined. You know, they're used to certain things being a certain way. Maybe, but they also had to deal with this kind of shenanigans and entertainment last year. Although the mixed final was not last year. I think it was the men's final that was.
It was. Let's go through GRUT's route to the final.
Let's have to say.
So, first game, again, like we were saying, first game of Swiss draw, you're expected to fairly hammer your opponents. Going up against Aloha, reunion team. 15-3 they beat them. Next they play SEX from Gothenburg, 15-10. They then lose 15-12 to Reading. That was also on the live stream. Reading in the second half went on a 10-4 run to pull themselves back into that game and win it. So GRUT let that one slip. They respond by going 15-11 against Yogo and 59 against Team Radio Shower. Then in the quarterfinal, they play Sescu Discus, another team going towards Worlds, beat them 15-11. And then in Urge Ferkel, keeping the tradition alive. The same result as has happened the last 3 times these teams have met. And that is a universe point victory over the angry Aardvarks of Germany. Who are not well named because they're some of the nicest people you'll ever play. I've never seen people be able to smile the way they are after a universe point loss.
That's right. So now, competitor coming from the mixed division.
We've been talking about him a little bit, playing to the crowd.
He wakes it up!
Orlovskis, he sent it quite far last time. Let's see what he's got. Oh, that's a big one.
Get out of here, disc.
But it's out of bounds, so it doesn't count. It's got to stay within the sideline. It doesn't have to stay in the end zone, but it has to stay within the sideline.
Definite cross breeze happening down, or at least up here. Down on the ground level, who knows? Oh, yes! Oh, such a showman, such a showman.
And that's the raw confidence that he exudes with every play on the disc, which is why his teammates have such faith throwing it to him.
Oh, that's gonna stay in, I reckon.
That's a ripper. Did I say that right, Elshak?
Yeah, that was good.
Is that a ripper? Is that what they're called?
I know, I still feel bad because it made it sound like that I didn't think the first person was a woman. Sorry. I did.
We just don't see gender up here.
That's right,
We're a
man.
very, very welcoming society group.
And some people don't identify as either gender. So
Exactly.
let's just say our next competitor,
The infamous, the legendary
Loco!
Miglioretto launches that
Yeah,
one.
that's pretty good. Uh-oh, look out, post.
But I think he didn't quite get it as far as Orlovskis. But that was his first throw, feeling himself out. I have seen him throw it over the bars that are behind the pitch before.
Oh, the wind is picking up a lot. That's pretty big.
That one looks like it's going to go out of bounds, though.
Oh, yeah, pushed across by the wind. Oh. Oh.
It's really getting breezy up here. You might be able to hear it on the microphones, in which
Yeah.
case we are very sorry. It is. Well, that's a forceful blade.
This may have more of an impact than the long break, this wind.
It certainly
It is, I'm getting cold.
It's becoming more vigorous. You're constantly cold.
Well, it's because I'm from Australia and European summer is like winter.
I don't think you should be allowed to use the word winter. You don't know what it is.
Sorry, it's like Perth winter. There we go.
So, with the pull competition all wrapped up, and I do believe it was Orlovskis who
I
was
think
the
so.
winner.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
Probably about to have that announced by the stadium announcers.
so now he's gonna have a few more things he'd like to add to that trophy cabinet, the Windmill medal around his neck.
He probably made the cabinet himself. He's one of those type of people.
Yeah, I bet you he's really good at like furniture making and other
Yeah.
skills. Like he's probably a good
Philanthropy.
cook. Yeah, he's just better than us in every possible way. Plus, he's 19.
And
There's
nice.
lots of reasons to be really, really irritated by this man.
Are you jealous?
Of course I'm jealous. Who wouldn't be jealous?
I'm not jealous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm admiring.
You can be two things.
It's true.
I'm in awe.
Oh,
Awestruck, shall we say.
that's right.
One of the few instances where you could use the word awesome and it would be accurate.
Correct.
We are watching, I think, somewhat of an announcement by Latvian Ultimate. Yeah, you might not know much about us. Yeah, we're kind of hiding away. Yeah, 2016, everyone remembers us beating Clapham, but then they dismiss it because we lost the next day. We are a real threat. We are a real Ultimate community that has to be taken notice of. And the best way to get people to take notice of you, be undeniable. Right now, that is what they look like with the disc in their hands. Orlovskis, middle of the pitch,
His arm's warmed up. He's probably going to have a shot.
with his mind cool as ice,
Oh,
not forcing anything, waiting.
oh, there
And
it is.
there it is, launching it deep. Minov's underneath it.
Oh, great
He
grab!
steals it away from the outstretched hands of Steneker, reaches over his shoulder and picks his pocket.
That's got to hurt.
I tell you, Fagan to be proud.
Wow, you know what? I'm going to have to watch this game again.
And again, and again, and you will be able to, thanks to ulti.tv teaming up with Windmill to bring you all of this coverage free on YouTube. All of the previous games are available on the YouTube channel for Windmill that you are currently watching, as well as on ulti.tv. Any game that's been streamed, we will have it up. We have highlights packages from the first day. We had a little bit of issue on the second day. We will get highlights packages out, and we will have highlights packages from the finals. All of these games, I'll say it one more time, Elshak, completely and ludicrously free. So you can watch them
But
as
how
much
much
as you
do
want.
they cost?
Only your time, and it will be well spent.
That's right. You just saw the replay there again of that beautiful long huck and the grab. Not in the best position,
No,
but somehow
I thought that was Steneker's all day.
go gadget arms there. Got the disc.
Fantastic stuff from
And I don't think the defender could have done anything else better, but still unable to stop the score.
So Bernans, boom, collects it. Centers Van der Wieden in the middle. Gives it to Menard. Pops it through. Nice, relaxed ultimate from Coulert. Making herself available. She has Janssen. Gives it to her.
Oh, nice hands there on that catch.
You can see just going deep, Leningrad, but they decide against it. Polster it. Van der Wieden.
think this is the first time possibly we've had 4 girls called.
As Van der Wieden puts it to Klulertz, there's going to be a battle. She's not in the right position, but she reads it far better than Mojeka.
There's a call's been made, but
there's a bit of conversation here.
Conversation happening.
Koemans and I believe that's Bernans just talking about a pick and whether they'd have been able to get involved.
But no, I think there's no. What's he doing here? Still having a bit of a discussion about it, asking now perspective from others. Very good read on that there. As we see the replay, he was, I guess, not necessarily edged out, but more of a screening basketball. Maybe saying that he wasn't able to, his flow was stopped, which you're not allowed to do against your opponent. They're meant to be able to still run in the direction that they wanted to go.
As long as
So just arguing
Janssen
about
was still making a play on the disc. Sorry, Janssen, number 6. As long as he was still making a play on the disc, though, he's just in position. So unless he was,
but he looked like he was holding up in the replay. It's a bit dicey. So it'll be interesting to see. All right, the discussion's been done. Nina Roos there getting involved and giving some advice. So, yep, disc is there. It's been resolved.
as here they go again. Klulertz, front of the end zone. Pressure everywhere. Tries to get to Van der Wieden. He is working hard, but he is getting nowhere. Spinas couldn't get free, but I tell you who can. Janssen.
Nice.
Go back to the well from which you so frequently drink. And her thirst is quenched as Janssen delivers the score. They hook up all the time for the UIUC teams, fighting together in the trenches. Symbiotic, their relationship has become.
Well, that's a good word too.
Full of them, I am.
Yep. So they needed that point.
Oh, yeah.
so much. Scores 9-6. It doesn't seem like that much with only 3 points difference, but really, Salaspils felt like they were almost going to run away with this game as they approached the half with a lot of momentum.
And they came out on the other side of it. Get the score, push it out to 9-5. It's 9-6 now, 3 points in the gap, 4 breaks the distance. Do you think GRUT can do it?
I don't think so.
No one scored more than 8. Do you think GRUT can do that?
I think they can score more than 8. Maybe 9. Maybe even 10.
Well, there's still plenty of game left to play, only 56 minutes in. Skusars centers it. Kublitska. Looking for Alovskis, but he is well shut down by Urt. And that's the matchup we've been wanting. They tried a few different people on him. Beautiful vision to give it to him.
What a throw into space, so good.
That was break side as well as he pops it back. The waiting, patient hands of Minovs.
Oh,
spreads it around.
Holding up nicely, but good grab.
Lots of float. But Sinista able to get under it. She centers to Orlovskis. And we know what he wants to do in this position. But he doesn't. He goes with the under. I suppose you take what's available to you. I've never seen him before.
Pick hold down the field. That's right. Someone changed shirts over there. I don't remember that restraint in that short throw.
So Albertinch with the disc, middle of the pitch.
Yes, he does do good short throws as well as massive hammers.
So Gusars goes for the quick pop in and completes it. There seems to be a little bit of a call. Sinista with the collection, although a slight conversation about whether or not there was a pick. She was remarkably free.
Yeah. So, yep, players just having a think and then, yep, goal scored.
Very
good discussion, good spirit.
So another hold, 10-6.
And a good resolution for Salaspils.
GRUT need to get 2 upwind breaks in order to be back in the lead.
And I don't think they've scored upwind yet, have they?
No.
So, as we like to say, not impossible, but highly improbable.
There's still plenty of game left, plenty of time.
That's right.
And I'm not just, you know, hoping, as I don't want this tournament to end. But the reality of it is Salaspils have been the better team so far.
Yeah.
What do you think GRUT can introduce to their game to try and change up the direction it's currently heading in?
We still haven't seen zone. I don't think they've got...
I don't think either team wants to play zone.
I know, but I think that as individuals, there's a disparity on enough players where Salaspils have an advantage, it seems. with
Which
the
is
match
an
D.
alien territory for
Yes.
GRUT to find themselves
So
in.
maybe zone, I think, well, they might need to practice zone for Worlds anyway.
You want
So
to have as many weapons in your tool.
exactly. Might as well try it, because you mix it up. That's what I say.
Mixing it up in the mixed division.
My trophy cabinet for Ultimate is very empty, but my advice, you
Your
can take
expert
or leave.
opinion.
That's right.
Boom. Van der Veen. And Janssen sets off at a gallop. Burns Bernans, buries him in the ground, but can't get it as Van der Veen is shut down by a penis on the force.
Oh.
And Kubicka tries to play Alert's back, but she instead catches it, launches it. Two underneath, Janssen bounces it, and collected by Menard. Magnificent stuff, kinda.
There was a big ask for Asta there to try and beat both of those opponents. She almost had a better position than the disc, thus going past her. I think she thought it maybe was going to drop a little bit earlier than it did.
You can see here, Kuplitska tries but can't get there, and Kulertz,
What
no
a-
hesitation.
what a
Winds up,
hack.
unleashes it. And then Janssen just playing a little bit of Mac line. Because like
Yeah.
you say, in a great defensive position, Arsta trying to get the block on Menard. Janssen recognises that. He's like, oh no, I'm just going to Mac this past Arsta, it'll be fine.
Pop it up a bit extra high. All right, so now 10-7.
Confident hold,
Yep.
but they still need an upwind break.
That's all right. So,
Do you think they'll be able to get one?
well, the wind has currently died down. So
This is the one.
this is a good time to do
This is
it.
the
If you're
one.
going to do it, might as well do it now.
You
when
heard it
it's
here
easier.
first, people. Elshak, this is the one.
So, go now, Groot, go now. This is the break time.
Get wrecked,
Lovely,
ultimate.
lovely pool.
Velasquez just
He
had to
just-
stand there.
Just waits for it as well. He doesn't. Oh no!
And there's the early turn. That's the mistake they haven't made so far. That one just floating through the outstretched hands of Arsta. As now, yours Ate.
You don't know if there was a bit of complacency on the throw there, or maybe a miscommunication.
So now, on the sideline with the disc, Kulin able to get it to the middle. Ates gives it to Dam, and good God damn, that girl is good.
Called that.
That was the one.
That was the
There's
one.
the upwind break. Elshak. Premonitions. Prescience.
The wind had died down. It was perfect conditions. I didn't predict the early turn of the drop disc, but hey.
No, your trophy cabinet may be bare, but your commentary cabinet's certainly filling up. And there was exactly what the doctor ordered.
That's all right. So here we see the replay. Waited for those options. Beautiful strong passes down. 1, 2, 3. And there's a goal for me, as they like to say.
Lola Dam has been somewhat quieted, I would have thought, up to this point in the game. But she is on that D-line, and GRUT haven't had too many looks. And when they get one, well, who do you think it is they're looking for? Lola Dam, big point, back out there.
On
Her
that-
and Ate leading the charge forward.
What a pull.
What a pull indeed. Buried back in the end zone. Orlovskis sees to Gusars, but he's covered.
Oh, no.
Tries to pop it up, and this is where it starts to all fall apart.
Oh, no.
And they go quickly for the score. There's
No,
a bit of a call.
Bit of a call.
So, bit of discussion here. Caught underneath the disc. Minovs. Orlovskis just rushed himself a bit too much. He was trying to find Natanya. And now Wirt, who was lightning quick to pick it up and throw for the assist. We can have another look at it. Orlovskis looking for Natanya. Wind catches it. Lots of people underneath. And there's the call. I believe Minovs is saying my verticality was impeded when he went up. There was something in his way. You only air above your head, as the rule goes. But retracted. And now GRUT is in position to get another break and 3 points in the row. And who else but Dam is looked for the isolation. She can't get free. Brilliant job by Kublitska. That woman is shutting down all of the leaders for this GRUT female side. And there the pressure once again. Janssen's throw could have been better, but it was a small window thanks to that defensive effort by Kublitska.
All right, the breeze picking back up.
Gusars with the disc, marching to the front of the end zone. Immediately looks to Orlovskis. He has Natanya there in the dump. Instead he goes straight down the line. Schnepsis. And Lola Floor Kulert steps in as she keeps on doing on those unders. Over the shoulder, right through.
Gets the D. Ates in the same position. They couldn't score the last time. Dam is there. Orlovskis knowingly poaches, but not enough. 2 breaks in a row. Both times they find Dam in the end zone, and that's exactly why.
So 10-9, home crowd getting excited as their GRUT team start to look like they're back in it to win it.
Start to look like the champions that they are. Salaspils forced to take a time out. 10-9. GRUT got one of the upwind breaks they needed. They still require a second.
Maybe someone's woken up the coach and said, come on, we might need a little bit of help now. I don't know. I'm just seeing the replay there.
Beautiful work by Lola Dam, carrying all the way through.
Lovely.
Kublitska ran herself ragged on that point, but the problem is, even if you shut down Lola Dam or Flor Colerts for 19 seconds, 29 seconds, minutes, they will eventually get free. They're that good. You can only hold them off for so long, and Salaspils were not able to punch in the break.
And a shout out to those listening around the world, people out at Korea, Boom Ultimate players listening to us who are our co-commentary team members from Beach Worlds in Royan.
Yeah, we're really repping Royan.
And people in Shanghai, I know, are listening. Probably Australia, because we do love a little bit of sport down there.
Where it's
Switzerland,
all over the world, and
all
we
over
welcome
the
you
world.
with open arms, just as we were taught to do by our wonderful hosts here in Amsterdam, welcoming people from all across the continent and further afield. This is one of the instrumental steps on the road to Cincinnati for so many of these teams. Salaspils not amongst them, and they have battered a lot of teams who will be at the World Championships. So they've got that caliber. Let's see if they can hold on to it all the way till the end of the tournament, as this is a huge point. Minads, Gusars. Yazbernad's immediately in front of him, doesn't like the look of it. His take goes with the scooper to absolutely no one. Porduma couldn't get free, but Orlovskis somehow gets it. Big hammer, lots of people underneath it, and it carries over the head of the intended receiver, Sinista. So that hammer, not the greatest option, and now the things that have worked out so well for them starting to come apart ever so slightly at the seams. But here's the big question. Can they get the upwind break? As we see Orlovskis. Big hammer. Just slightly misread by Sinisa. So Ates with the disc.
That's right. Now a chance to have, I think, the 3rd in a row for GRUT.
Would be 3 breaks in a row. 4 points.
Yep.
Jansen with the disc. Takes the easy pop to Ates. Ates, he has Dam open, decides against it, goes break side instead. Trying to keep their options available by working that break side. Ates puts that one with a little bit extra mustard. That's just how Steneker likes it. Gusars is being asked to try and shut down Ates, and it's such a difficult question to find an answer for. Dam, open side, on the sideline. Kublitska, pressuring her, active, gets back to Ates. Gusars, you can see the fatigue starting to kick in as Ates looks fresh as a daisy. Jansen thinks about the hook, decides against it, like a typewriter. Working their way across, reset, work your way across, reset, big blade for the crack! And collects! Fantastic stuff.
What a confident grab there. And now scores back to level 10 apiece. And 67 minutes of play have passed. Still a considerable amount of time left. Lots of scoring
each.
opportunities. Oh, I'm just
Blades
so excited.
for days. Kulan throwing that one to Colerts. Let's have another look. They were so good, so conservative. I was singing their praises, and I think Kulan got a little bored. That, you know what? Let's do this Dutch under-20 style. Let's launch some blades to Colerts and just trust her to come down with it, and that's exactly what she did. Fantastic stuff. It's actually the mantra of this team. Trust your receiver. And like all healthy relationships, that trust is well earned.
withstanding pressures, influences from outside. GRUT have faith in each other. That gives them faith in themselves. And that's what's allowed them to fight their way back into this game. Huge pull. 10-10. It's going to float out of bounds.
I might take that from the sideline because it did go out kind of earlier on than the brick mark, but brick mark having the advantage of being central.
Which I think is far more valuable a resource.
Especially with a bit of breeze happening.
It's real gusty. It's not a consistent breeze. It rises and it falls, much like the fortunes of both of our teams in this game so far.
All right.
GRUT currently in the ascendancy, 4 points in a row.
Oh.
3 breaks. And they're looking to take the lead. Hussars hoping to deny them. Gets in trouble, lashes that one. Always under pressure, not enough float. Orlovskis couldn't get there. And now you can see Ates calling. Relax. A floor general directing his troops. He's been such a huge part of their comeback. Not so much in the glory end of it, but in terms of calming them. Letting them know, don't worry, we have the disc. Yes, it's very windy, but it's fine. I will be free. Trust yourself. And now looking for a bit of glory himself. A huge shot all the way down to Lola Dam. And she takes it over the eyes. Happiness was always coming in trying to stop it, but Dam confident all the way. Koemans with the disc. Backhand. Taken in. Plog. Nothing really becoming available for him quickly. This is nice defense from Salaspils. As now Ate gets it back. Like I said, always there to relieve the pressure and make the right throw. Dam collects. Back to Ate. Ever present. And another open side shot. This time Kulin. Ate, every second passes to that man. Done. Dam. Ate. Dam again for the score and the lead. 11-10.
Well, if someone to stand out on Salaspils, we may have found an equivalent excitement machine down here with Dam. God, geez, so good as a receiver.
Well, that's why her nickname is God. Lola God Dam. Absolutely fantastic. So reliable. Ate is clinical and crucial in that entire possession. From the big shot down, once again to Dam. And you can see Happiness coming in. And defensively speaking, Artza even, is no slouch.
No.
But Dam just reads it perfectly. And now comfortable resetting. And it ends with just a simple up the line cut. Brilliant stuff. GRUT roaring back to life. 11-10 up. Salaspils searching for a score. The last time they scored, they made it 10-6. They have the wind at their back. They've got a lot of talent. Do they have the medal? Nobody has scored more than 8 on them.
So that's
GRUT at 11.
unfamiliar territory now for Salaspils.
Very much so. Let's see how they respond. Having talent, having ability is one side of it. Having mental fortitude, which tends to be the missing ingredient in European teams whenever we travel off our own shores and try to make our stamp on the international scene. We seem to be bested mentally before we're bested physically and in terms of skill. So now, Salaspils, yes, we know you're good, but are you tough? Orlovskis, Bernals, Minos, middle of the pitch, options. Goes with a sketchy one and then a big hook. Orlovskis is down the pitch. Ates is closing all the time, but never gets possession or position. And that's just to calm themselves down.
That's right, a little bit more aggressive, I feel, as he went to for that catch. Sometimes he can appear, I'm not saying he is, but it can appear a little bit casual and wait for the disc, but he knew that his defender was definitely not going to have any of that, and much respect shown there as he had to go towards the disc aggressively to make sure he took the goal.
It was great pressure.
And we see that very low catch. Such a good save there to keep that disc alive.
Antoninch with the throw and the assist. Lavskis basically dumped it, took off. The disc dropped rather radically.
Also
kind of removed Ates from competition.
Yeah.
So now, Alderus with the pull, tied at 11 apiece. This game, every inch as exciting as I promised.
So almost 74 minutes have passed. Plenty of time left. Scores 11 all, and what a game we have.
Huck seems to be drifting back inbounds, and it is. Boom. Collects it, Van der Wieden. I thought he was going to go for Huck, but Janssen instead opts to just eat up yards on a beautiful under. Big fake, Antonich spun around on the force. Van der Wieden's going deep. Happiness is way out of position, but Kublinska's right there to shut it down. This was always dropping in front of her, but she had position. So now, Salaspils with a chance to get back their lead. But they'll need to get all the way back to that high side end zone. Cheers rising from the sideline in the effort to lift their team. Happiness gives it inside, taken by Mulderis. One of those young, confident players who doesn't know any better. Antonich. Kublinska's very free, but Kulertz closes that door quickly. Mulderis thinks about the big hook to try and move Boom out of position. Antonich.
Good catch there.
Lovely undercutting from the tireless Kurasova.
That's right.
As you can see, she's got the little Lithuanian shout out on her Under Armour. You gotta love that. Janssen picking a pocket or two on that particular play. Van der Wieden now with the disc, waiting for options, holding on. Jan Janssen goes deep for him, decides against it. Instead goes to Boom in the middle. Bernard putting in work, and then there's a little bit of contact, but uncontested foul. Mulderis conceding.
Just coming in on 3.
Boom. It's about the break. Mulderis is there quickly to step across. This is some fantastic shutdown defense.
Pick
Although he's
called.
calling pick, not a foul. So coming in on 6. That's a high stall count. Maybe we'll count together. 4 seconds. Here comes the boo. 4. An immediate little pop pass off to Van der Wieden. No hesitation, no thought. Bit of float on that, but Janssen equal to it. As he's waiting, Mulderis is putting Boom under a lot of pressure, but they're still able to just squeeze those past. And another around break. Van der Wieden thinks about the inside, goes against it instead with the blade. Happiness is right there. That was always a bit short as he calls a timeout. He thought about the hook, decides to walk to the front of the end zone and calls a timeout. Do you like that call, Al?
I do. I like that a lot because it's a long way back up to their end zone. And that was a long point and really hard running from both sides on offense to get those cuts in front of your player. And the defensive pressure there to keep GRUT scoreless was
Here's
huge.
Janssen's fantastic interception.
Such a good grab.
So much pressure on Kurasova.
Yeah.
And he just sweeps in.
And good pressure there also on the mark, forcing that throw higher up in the air and allowing it to get stolen.
But Salaspils recovered well, denying GRUT the opportunity to pop it in. So now at their second opportunity, can they get this crucial upwind break? You can see there on the sideline, trying to lift the Latvians. It's always fun to see which way the allegiances fall amongst the different clubs in the stands of Windmill. 11 each. A maximum of 7 points remain, although we are quickly approaching time. The crowd lifting. Salaspils setting up before Groot come out to match them. Happiness with the disc. Kublinska flanks him to his left. See, jogging on to join. On the right, Zavayeva, the Russian representative. Near the far, Kurasova, Madris, Mujeka. Rounded out by Antonic, being marked by Janssen. That's quite the battle. And here we go. You can see Jan Janssen just peeling across. Zavayeva collects the disc.
Good
Waiting
pressure.
for somebody to get free for her. And the stall count getting very high. Van der Wieden was close, but Malderis comfortable. Antonic tries to get free for him. Big effort by Janssen. Sorry, this is the 8th game. So now, Orlovskis dumps it to Bernans. Snips, comes for the under, but they can't get it to him. Orlovskis. Immediately in front of him is Borduma. Now they're forcing him to go back there. Huge hook, high release, lots of flow. Orlovskis is underneath it. But he gets bumped a little bit. I'll be surprised if there isn't a call. There appears to be a little bit of contemplation. Steneker with the enviable task of trying to shut down the Latvian Lightning himself. In the end, decides, nope, fair D.
Yeah, that was always going to be difficult with the other two GRUT players there in a better position, and also the wind catching that disc. The wind is slightly changed direction now, blowing into our faces here in the commentary tower.
Attis. Lelinger came for the under and immediately dumps it back to him. Just love relying on his steady, capable handling. That disc goes low, but Ort gets down underneath it. The call is whether or not it was up.
I thought it was down.
They're going to the sideline perspective.
So we're going to look at the replay.
Did he have control when the disc touched the ground? So now they are turning to us. This is a big moment for us. And our cameraman seems to have...
I think it's down.
I would call that up.
Oh, would you? I call it down.
Yeah, that's a disagreement. Can the guys in the booth have a look slightly closer? Let's see.
I think down.
Oh,
Before he had control.
Yep, I think it was down as well.
Nina?
Well, as Emperor Nero of the broadcast team, we're opting for our thumbs down. But it would appear going back, contested. As a Mexican wave makes its way across the stadium, kind of. Kind of. It made about a third.
Yeah.
And it just kind of died. So, the disc goes back. And the battle continues. Steneker gets it to Attis. Attis looks to swing it all the way around. Kumans obliges.
Ooh.
I love the vigor they put in these fakes. There's just a little extra flash at the end. Whip crack. But you can see the unders are still there for Groot. They're still comfortable in this position, which is something I cannot say about Salaspils. Orlovskis getting low, rushing for it, but Steneker able to keep him out of the way. Attis. It's a pick downfield.
Yep.
Dunn did seem rather open.
That's right, very open player there. Which could have been just an amazing cut, but most likely a pick has happened somewhere.
So Attis, a little bit on an island right now. No cuts or no dump handlers immediately available, but so much space for them to run into. And the grimness. The Dunn would have got the disc.
Ah.
So she's allowed to retreat. This could be crucial. Dunn. Under pressure. Deals with it well. Back to Attis. Just continues to work to either side of the pitch with his throws. With ease, Kumans sees Attis. Attis goes up the line. Just about gets it. Snepis is under a lot of pressure to try and shut down Attis. Dunn keeps the swing going all the way around. And that's fantastic stuff. Kulan gets it and throws it for the assist. And I believe that was Steneker who got the score.
That's right. So about 85 minutes almost. So time
Rapidly approaching.
rapidly approaching, yes. But now, I think I just saw a timeout being called by Groot. Yep.
13-11. Ballsy calling the timeout
Yeah.
while up.
Yes.
And with the downwind D point coming. You don't want to keep that momentum rolling. No.
No,
We want to
no.
stop. We want them to think about what we just did to them.
That's right. Lament.
Mourn.
Lament on this. But I think what you said earlier about perhaps that the GRUT girls were stronger, I think is now that they've played a bit more and I've seen the matchups. I'm going to have to agree. They're both sides really strong players, but I do feel that the GRUT women have a little bit of an edge. And I think that's being taken advantage of by GRUT, and that's been making the difference.
It does seem to be that was the big adjustment they made.
Yeah.
They switched up their defensive pressure, tried to get Salaspils to put the disc in the hands of their women more often.
That's
and as a
right.
consequence, they've been able to exert that advantage and have marched back into the lead in stunning fashion. Because when you see Salaspils playing, when you see what they're struggling with, to me anyway, it certainly looks like they just cannot get their unders with the same comfort that they were hitting them earlier on in the game, and certainly not with the same comfort that GRUT are exhibiting. As here comes a big one out of the hands of Steneker. Hussars underneath, waiting for it. Ballsy catch, love to see it. Happiness. He's got Kublinska right ahead of him. He also has Minovs. Kublinska needs to get out of that open side right now, as all she's doing is clogging it. Stall count's getting higher. Eventually they're able to get off to Hussars. So he's looking for options, and he takes one. That flick always came out wonky. Although there is a bit of a call. Happiness took a knock. I believe that's going to have to go back. Seems like that throw did not come out of Hussar's hands the way he wanted it to. He may have been trying to launch it deep to Kublinska, and if that was his plan, please follow it through, because damn, Kublinska has been an exhilarating matchup so far in this contest. Ates taps it in. Here they go. Hussars. Sideline. Takes the available dump in the form of Mojeka. Mojeka turns away from her dump very quickly. Lots of hard work, but Antonin Cheek will do it.
Oh, nice swing across field there.
And there's the big hawk, plenty of float. Steneker tries to involve himself, and he does so, dissuading and stopping Happiness from being able to get the correct position. So, Salaspils still trying to just lash it deep in the face of the wind. I think that's down to the fact that they don't trust their undercuts as much. It's now, who else but Ates to pick up the disc? He has been outstanding in this entire final, lashing it deep when called upon. But that one was always a little bit down, and Mojeka gets position and gets the disc.
Oh, but well done to take that down.
Looked like it was going to run away from the intended receiver, Netanya, but she gets it, pops it back into the middle in the waiting hands of Minovs. Hussars at the forefront of this offense. Seems to be a call. Netanya far sideline. Just a brief moment of discussion. Chance to catch your breath in what has been a breathtaking encounter. Oh, and there was just too much zip on that pass, and that's what I'm talking about when I say those kind of cuts, they don't look nearly as comfortable getting the disc off. Sure, they've got lots of big plays, but it's the little ones that you need to build yourself a title. Like that, Ates drops it over Kublinska's head to the waiting hands of Dam.
Indeed.
Comfortable. Relaxed. Easy, shall we say, or is that taking it too far out?
No, I wouldn't say easy, but practiced.
Making it look easy, if it
Familiar,
isn't.
familiar.
Familiar is a great way of putting it.
Definitely, maybe as these teams have only, or Salaspils has only just kind of come together for this tournament. Probably some of those training sessions that the GRUT players have had, those connections they've established over the years, definitely with their short play, is an advantage. Because you can have the skills, but it's more about the awareness of where your throw, the next throw is going to go, what your receiver is capable of, what they prefer in terms of where they're going to cut to.
So 14-11. Touching distance of the golden elephant.
I hope this team stays together, Salaspils, and comes to more tournaments together.
I would love to see them come to more tournaments. But speaking to their leadership, they're saying, no, we're pretty sure we're going to stay as open and women's clubs with their eye on EUCF. And what a better way to test yourself than by getting matchups against the UCF mixed champions. At least you can get used to playing at that caliber, if not the division you're looking for. Orlovskis with the disc. Back on O-line. Winded is back. Gives it to Gusars. Plenty of float. Plenty of time. Plenty of pressure on every move they make. Orlovskis thinks about the hammer. Instead goes back to Minovs. He's just going to gently walk away. Nice, comfortable play by Arsta. Orlovskis lashes it deep. Gusars is down there. Escapes the intention of Leninga, who dropped back, and they pops it in. Kublinska wasn't all the way in. She's looking. Time getting higher. Just squeezes that off to Gusars, who goes for the nice, comfortable scooper to Orlovskis. And that is something that we come to expect from them. The flashy plays working out well. So let's just see a few more flashy plays. But 14-12 down, and you need 2 upwind breaks to win.
That's right, very close couple of throws there, just towing the line. It was really good. And again, a scuba to score.
Absolutely beautiful. As you can see, Kublinska thought she got the score, didn't. Watch this for a little dump pass. Basically throws it not so much at Gusars as into him. And then he just duck low. Orlovskis right there. Scooper over the top. Textbook.
That's right. So it's now 14-12. Big task to keep Groot scoreless.
A challenge. So, for a little bit of a history lesson, and remember, if you'd like to check any of our facts, you can always see all of these games for free on YouTube at the Windmill channel. But in the semi-final, the group found themselves in a similar situation. Harslik Erdferkel then scored 2 points to row to tie it up. GRUT needed 3 chances before they were able to take the victory on Universe. Matez looking to make it much more succinct this time with a big shot down to Janssen. Orlovskis trying to turn around, goes for the blind D and gets it. Let's see if there's a call. You can see Orlovskis realizes the disc is in the air, goes, I'm not going to be able to turn and touch it, so I'm just going to watch Janssen's eyes and jump and hope for the best. So now they're going to just talk this out.
We're just seeing that replay there. Contact definitely made, but it's...
You can see, just see Orlovskis checks, knows it's there.
Yeah, sticks his arm up.
It hits his shoulder.
It does hit the disc, I think, before the shoulder, but...
And it's going to stand as a turn. What a blind D by Orlovskis. Gusars, disc in hand. The time irrelevant, as we know it'll be a game to 15. Gets it off just about to Mulderis. They are not gaining the kind of yards that they were hoping for.
That's right, they've got to be very careful here. Oh!
I don't think they were listening, because Orlovskis just climbs a ladder and pulls down a cloud. Swings that one out to Kublinska, who you can see just relaxing. Just everybody calm down, all right? Let's take those jets, let's cool them. Gusars says, no, let's fire them up. One more time to Orlovskis. He just misreads it. It floats more than anyone was intending it to over the head of Janssen and Orlovskis.
Oh my goodness.
Hot shots. Hot shots.
Oh, they've got to really put a lot of pressure on this D here, because the wind is going with Groot. And the long options have been on for these guys as well.
And David takes the under. Brilliant cutting from Kulertz. She fakes deep, you've got to respect it. So when she turns, goes under, it's nothing but open country. Matez, middle of the pitch. Of course he goes for the swing. What else does he do? Well, the odd hook, but for the most part, it's always the right decision. Again, they don't mind leaving him on an island because they trust him so much. Janssen was just standing, turns, immediately goes under to reset. Everybody's so comfortable. Atez doing what he can to get away from Gusars, but that time it was shut down. Van der Wieden's underneath it, Mulderis and him connect, and that one's going to float over the top, although there is a call for a foul. Understandably so.
So just going to see replay of the huge throw down the line, coming back in. Yeah, bit of feet getting caught up there, but it actually almost looked like the Groot foot tripped the Salaspils player. It's a bit inconclusive on that replay.
So they're just going to keep talking about
They
it.
try to reenact it themselves. This
The
is
ultimate
great.
pantomime that
Here
always
it is.
happens.
Okay,
Bit of
well,
ghost there.
yeah, you watch the replay with me now, look, and
So this is where the contact occurs.
a slightly different angle here.
See, Van der Wieden's trying to reposition himself, and he, I think, moves into the way of Mulderis.
Yeah, that's what I see.
I think it's kind of incidental contact.
Yeah. I think it should just be a turn, but we're not in the game. They can consult us. I doubt they will from up here. Although they are looking around, but
Everybody's looking for an opinion that agrees with theirs.
that's right. And we can't agree with both people when it's obviously going to be contested.
As much as we do love stirring the pot up here in the commentator's booth. And trust us, we do love it. Janssen, got him actually stall count was getting pretty high. Besides doing a good job on that day. Shutting him down.
So maybe now establishing door counts on coming in on 3.
You can see Goulart pretends to go under, goes deep instead, but Atez, as ever, able to get the extra inches, get away. Van der Wieden picks up out it, makes Mulderis loses his feet, and then launches it deep anyway.
Oh, there
And
it
there's
is.
the winning catch.
Oh!
Beautiful stuff by Groot, going with the deep shot. Taking home the trophy with that old style they rely on so much, but they were made to work for it this time, El.
Oh, jubilation shown by Groot here. What a comeback. Salaspil players, some are devastated, working so hard, exasperated there, but they should hold their heads high. They took it to him, and they are exciting. And I just want to watch them again and again.
You will get the chance to as the season progresses. We will continue to try and bring you as much top quality Ultimate content here at ulti.tv, where we are dedicated to it. And thank you so much for being with us all weekend long. We brought you all the action from the Open Division, where Clapham came out victorious over CUSB Shout, from the Women's Division, where in an absolutely scintillating game, Atletico, the European champions, were felled by Mainzelmädchen, very much in the ascendancy in the Women's Division. And here, the youthful exuberance of GRUT, for a moment, 8-5 down at half, remember, looked like they'd met their match in the form of Salaspils, but still they retain their trophy and become 2-time winners. We're going to have one more look. This was the opening point. Fantastic D from Mulderis coming out here and making a statement against Ben Oort. GRUT, though, not to be dissuaded. Janssen to Goulart.
Again, I think just the experience of playing together for a lot longer and practicing those drills and those set plays for Groot put them and made the difference there, giving them the win here.
The first half completely belonged to Salaspils. Brilliant stuff. And how many times was that man, Orlovskis?
I'd say, don't know if I'd say best on ground, but definitely most noticeable on ground.
So fantastic. Goulart, again, another huge target. So reliable when everything was going wrong. That's who you go to. Orlovskis, a little bit of a sketchy high release flick, but Schneppes was able to get there. This was Gusars when he faked the hammer and then threw the hammer on the second time of asking. And the nice little LeBron celebration. Back in there in the ascendancy, Yanis Bernans.
Yeah, just from the side angle there.
Beautiful throw, well taken in. This was the lightning whip through the middle, somehow completed.
But then GRUT were a little bit tired of being outplayed in the departments in which they normally excel. Janssen macking it along to Minard for the score. And this was the start of the comeback. They started to feel themselves. Trust your receiver is their mantra. Get wrecked ultimate. Hussars with a beautiful little scuba. The flash, when they looked like things were starting to go wrong, they returned back to the stylistic way of playing that got them to this final. But in the end, that championship pedigree from GRUT proved too much as the two teams celebrate. We celebrate a fantastic weekend. I want to give a few shout outs to everybody who helped make this possible. The commentary team, Sarah Harrison, Benji Rees, Hilary Holmes, Hannah Pendlebury, Liam Grant, Ravi Vasudevin, Lisa Cowenberg, G.G. Morrison, of course, El Shak as well. And then with our crew, without whom this wouldn't be possible at all, the infamous Mike Palmer in the driving seat, Brecon, Casper Schmidt, Tatenda Mumbo, Will Foster, Lolo, David Picon, Mickey, the owner of Vez Videos, where you can see a lot of great highlights, Anthony Wilson, Milan Groot, and of course Windmill, thank you so much for helping us set all this up. Tim DeYoung, Elwin, Lisa Cowenberg gets a double shout out. She's both a commentator and an organizer. It has been a distinct pleasure to bring this to you, a unique experience and an inescapable joy to be a part of.
It was awesome. And big shout out to all the Windmill crew who've been organising this for many, many months, and also the volunteers who have come from many different countries to work all weekend in what was freezing conditions for me the last couple of days, and who will still be working tirelessly for the next couple of days to do the pack down as well.
So, one last time, I've been Lorcan.
And I've been El Shak.
We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Alti.tv